Hey, my name is Sophie, for those of you that are new here. I am a full-time attorney, but I'm also a small business owner. So today I want to organize my small business side of my office. We moved into this house and I am so lucky that it came with this built-in desk office situation, and there are two sides to it. My husband actually uses a separate bedroom upstairs for his office, so I got this whole thing to myself. So I use one side for my day job as an attorney and the other side to run my small business. So today we're going to be tackling organizing and kind of rearranging the small business side of things. So if that sounds interesting to you, then let's get going. I almost have too much space in this office that I don't know what to do with it. So I am going to use these large cabinets up top on the wall for all of my packaging and backup products that I sell on my website. But first I wanted to add a little bit more storage for smaller items. And I have these two stackable units that I wanted to put in the smaller cabinet. The one on the right is a little bit more narrow than the one on the left. But I actually decided to flip it around because I have more of these on the other side that are blue, and my brand colors are blue. Sophisticated Organization blue is the color. So I thought it would make more sense to have the blue bins over on this side. So I moved them and started adding in some of the small items I wanted to store. One of the things I knew I wanted to put in here were my whiteboard markers. These go with the whiteboards that I sell. So with every glass dry erase board that's purchased, I pop in one black dry erase marker as well. I need to have those easy access as I package things up and mail them out. The next thing I wanted to put in one of these drawers are the base of the packaging that I use when I fill custom label orders. So another thing that I sell on my website are vinyl labels. I use my Cricut machine to make them, and I like to keep them sealed in one of these poly bags so they're protected from any rain or anything like that, and they're all contained when the person receives their order. Also slip in there a little card that has some of my business information on the front and branding, and then on the back it's information on how to apply vinyl labels. Since a lot of people haven't applied them before, it can be a little bit confusing how to use them. So I have that on the back, and then I also like to put in a little alcohol pad because it really helps those vinyl labels to stick if you wipe the surface first with an alcohol pad. So with every label order that goes out, I have that card, an alcohol pad, and it's all in a poly bag. And doing this in advance really does help speed up the process. I could have kept going, but I want to take a break for now. I do have more poly bags and I have more of those cards. So I'm just going to stick them in the drawer with the ones that I've already sorted out, as well as some blank cards that I have that don't have the instructions on how to apply vinyl labels on the back. For those cards, I toss them in with my other products that don't include labels. All of those things are going in one drawer, and then the other two drawers I'm going to put some of the larger sizes of poly bags that I have. So when I send out a whiteboard and a dry erase marker, I stick them in there together and seal it up so they're one little package. I also use them when I send out my daily and weekly planner pads because, again, I don't want those getting any water damage. I just want them to be as protected as possible in the shipping process. I'm going to arrange the drawers in what I use the most often. So when I'm sitting down at the desk, I can reach the bottom drawers and only have to stand up for the things that I use rarely. The next things that I want to be really easy access are some of the packaging that I use. I do have larger boxes that I keep in the basement when somebody orders very large items. Some of the glass spray bottles that I have, I'll go down to the basement to get that. But my bubble mailers and flat mailers I keep in here because those are what I use really, really often. As I'm arranging this, I wanted it to look nice as well because you can tell that the cabinets are frosted glass. So I want to keep things nice and neat in here. If I were to design this office, I don't know if I would have chosen frosted glass, but that's what we have. So I'm going to put all of the large bubble mailers that I have on the right side and just stack it all the way up. I had some of my backup glass and silicone spray bottles on the top, but I wanted to move those over and have like items all stored together. So because you can see through it, it would be a little bit more visually appealing. I don't want to go all the way to the top either with any of the top units because there is some lighting within those cabinets. And though I don't use the lighting, I'm not super worried about setting anything on fire, but just in case anybody flips the light on, I think it's better to leave a little bit more space. The office also came with this nice built-in unit, and the bottom drawer I have a lot of the products that I use very quickly to ship if I get an order. This is where I draw from first. So you'll see I keep basically a little bit of everything, my glass and silicone spray bottles, my glass whiteboards, I have my microfiber cloths, and daily and weekly planner pads all in there. The top is kind of miscellaneous. It's probably going to end up being more non-sophisticated organization stuff, so I will leave that open for now. Now on the left side, that's where I'm going to move the glass and silicone spray bottles over to. Fill that up, again, not all the way to the top just because of the lights within the cabinets, giving it a little bit of space, and then my backup whiteboards will go there too. I was just playing around with whether they fit better vertically or horizontally. And then one level down, I am going to stuff this part full of a bunch of microfiber cleaning cloths. Part of me feels silly to put all of these products in these beautiful cabinets, but there truly is too much storage space in this office, and those top cabinets are not easily accessible. I couldn't even reach it on my little step stool, so I don't want it to be things that I have to get to very often. There's a set of drawers on the right-hand side of the desk, and I like the two smaller drawers to organize the products that I use for shipping, the little stickers and labels, my little thank you for your order stickers, and some of the tools I use to make vinyl labels, all in one drawer, and then another drawer of all of my YouTube and camera equipment, some lighting supplies, memory cards, and that stuff. So I was playing around with rearranging these things, and I won't make you watch the entire thing because trust me, there was a lot of arranging and rearranging and figuring out what worked best with all of these little modular drawer organizers. They're kind of a blessing and a curse because I love how you can move them around and rearrange things and you're not stuck in stone like you would be with a drawer organizer that already has built-in dividers. But that means the possibilities can be somewhat endless. So I probably spent way too long figuring out what works best in this space. I did finally get there though, and here is the final product of what these drawers look like. The top one is for shipping supplies and making my vinyl labels. Next down is YouTube type stuff, and then the bottom filing cabinet, at least that's what it's meant to be, is empty right now. So I'm going to go grab some of my equipment for my camera and lighting and see if I can put that in there and keep this side strictly for my business and free up that top drawer a little bit more. A couple of them didn't fit. They were too long, a couple of tripods and stuff. So I put those on the side of the drawer unit because there is a little bit of a gap there, so I could easily slip it in. And then at the bottom, I was able to put in my microphone that I use to record my YouTube videos that I'm talking into right now. And I also put in some small organizers for the vinyl that I have that's not full sheets, so it's all of my vinyl scraps. While I'm completely in love with this office, the first frustration I had when I moved into this house and into this office was the fact that I had such difficulty maneuvering my chairs on the carpet here and moving them around and scooting in and out of the desk. And so I knew I wanted to get some sort of a floor mat in here. And with such a stunning, gorgeous office, I really didn't want to deter from the look of it. I wanted to keep it really high end. And I opted for a Vitraza glass floor mat. So the mat is actually made out of glass, which is awesome. I think it looks really nice and sleek in here. And I learned about Vitraza because my dad has one in his home office. He has a rectangular one and loves it. It's such a cool concept. It kind of freaked me out a little bit at the beginning that it's glass and you're walking on it, but apparently it can hold up to 1,000 pounds on it. So other than my office chair, that's pretty much all that's on there, and myself or somebody else walking on there. So I know I'm never gonna hit that 1,000 pound limit. So I got a custom size because this desk is so unique, and you can do like my dad has, just in rectangle, or you could do a square. They have circle shapes, or you could go completely custom like me if you have like a few cutouts. So what I have over here is that little cutout. So I made that fit perfectly where the filing cabinet is. And I did the reverse on the other side of the desk as well. So I'm in love with it. If you have an office, and especially a lot of people are working from home now, and you want to kind of keep that space looking nice and pretty, and you are having trouble scooting your chair around like I was, you don't want one of those gross plastic mats, these things are awesome. So I'll have a link in the description box below for the glass mats if you're interested. Next up, I have this unit from my old apartment. Actually, it's crazy because we spray painted it, and the spray paint color perfectly matches the desk in this house. I have no idea how that worked out, but it looks beautiful with it. So I'm using it to organize my vinyl, and I would have put my vinyl into the cabinets or somewhere into the desk because, as you've heard, I've been talking about how much extra space this office has. It's almost too much space, but with these sheets being 12 by 12 and craft paper in general being 12 by 12, none of the cabinets are 12 inches deep. Nothing can fit this, so I have to store it somewhere else. And instead of putting it out on top of the countertop, I'm going to use this little unit and put it under the desk. For some reason, I also really struggled to find an organizer to fit my sheets of vinyl. I really like having the flat sheets. It makes it a bunch easier for me as opposed to the vinyl rolls, which you'll quite often see. Sometimes I'll buy the vinyl rolls and cut them myself into 12 by 12 sheets. It's usually on a 12-inch roll, but then I will slice it every 12 inches. And I don't know why it was so hard for me to find an organizer that I liked, because craft paper is the same size, and people who craft usually have a lot of stuff and have a large crafting area, and there's tons of crafting organization stuff sold all over the place. But I finally found this stackable organizer that I love and could completely customize to the proper height that I wanted. And then once I have it organized, I just divided it by color of vinyl, type of vinyl, and stuck it right under the desk. With this beautiful office space, I hated the look of all of the cords I had under here. I never took the proper time to fully organize it and make it look nice. I've never really had to buy one of these before because all of my office spaces, you can't really see under the desk very well, but here, because it's right there when you first walk into our house, I wanted to have the cords hidden as much as possible. I got one of these cord organizer boxes that you can hide a power strip and all of the cords that plug into it. And then with that, all of the extra cording that is kind of left over, you can shove in there as well. And I wasn't 100% sure that this was really gonna make it look a lot better, but I'm very happy with the final look of this, and I think it really paid off. Then for the top of the desk, I have a few cords that have to stick out here that I can access. I thought about using an organizer here to contain all of the cords and make sure they didn't fall through the hole, but I realized I really only have one dangling cord and I didn't need it. Quickly going through all of the pens that I keep on top of my desk. And it's not just pens that I keep in here. Because we're next to the front door, this is where I get packages. I usually bring them into my office first and open them in here. So I have a box cutter. I like to have hand lotion and some scissors, some of the Cricut tools that I use at Easy Access, lip gloss, and then pens. So I have a lot of stuff in there. Now it's time to clean off the surface. I am going to use the microfiber cloth and the glass and silicone spray bottles that I sell. I use them in my home. If you are interested in purchasing any of the products that I sell, I will of course link in the description box below my website, and you can shop for all the different items there. The last thing I need to do to this space to make it completely complete is to decorate the open shelving here. These are just some of the items that I had from our old apartment. I think they look okay here. I don't have enough stuff to fill the top. So I kind of want to keep an eye out and look for things that are fun and small businessy, maybe a couple accents of that sophisticated blue, and then it will be complete. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you liked today's kind of small business office refresh and organization. I finally feel like I have things set up the way that I want them. Even though we've been living here for a while, I've just kind of been scraping by, so I feel way better. If you liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you're interested in shopping any of my products, don't forget that I will have a link in the description box to my website, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you can see tons of other organizing and motivational cleaning content and things like that. But until next time, I will see you guys later.